What's up guys, today is another day where I will spend the entire day practicing English, improving myself, improving my English. Today, according to my study plan, English study plan, I will practice with the script of YouTube videos of Taylor Bell. Today is the second day where I will be practicing with the script of Taylor Bell. I will start practicing, from the minute 4 and I will stop at the minute 8. Okay, this is how I master my English, as you guys know. Also, according to my second study plan, which is Friends English Study Plan Episode 2. Today is the day 6 and I will start practicing from the minute 10 and I will stop at the minute 15. So today I will be working on the only 5 minutes of the episode of Friends, Episode 2. Okay, here you see my entire English learning process, right? I started learning English with the script of sitcoms, and then I started learning English with the script of different TV shows from different genres. And then I started practicing, improving my English with vloggers and then with YouTube videos. It is so important for you to choose and study with the right study material. If you're at beginner level or if you're somewhere between beginner and intermediate level, you should always practice with the script of sitcoms and then with the script of TV shows. Once you get to that level where you're intermediate, you should start practicing English with the script of YouTube videos and vloggers.
Don't listen to your mother. You're independent and you always have been. Even when you were a kid and you were chubby and you had no friends, you were just fine. And you would read alone in your room and your puzzles.
You're independent and you always have been. Even when you were a kid and you were chubby, you had no friends and you were just fine. You were independent and you always have been. Even when you were a kid, you were chubby and you had no friends and you were just fine. There are people like Ross who need to shoot for the stars. Other people are satisfied with. And I read about this woman trying to have a child. You guys, I kinda gotta clean up this. Chandler, you're an only child, right? You don't have any of this. She's a waitress. Oh, hi. There was this big dinosaur thing. We're just waiting for Dr. Aberman.
Hello, Susan. Good shake. Good shake.
Yeah, good shake, good shake. I would like to talk about this part of this video. Even when you were a kid and you were chubby and you had no friends, you were just fine. You treat alone in your room and your puzzles. You will treat alone in your room and your puzzles. This part is incredibly important for me. Let me explain to you why this part is, for instance, so important for me. Because, first of all, you're talking about past year, right? Even when you were a kid, you're talking about past. You were a kid. You were chubby, and you had no friends. He doesn't say you were chubby and you have no friends. He says you were chubby and you had no friends. You were a kid, you were chubby and you had no friends. And you were just fine. Not you were just fine, you were just fine. And you will treat it alone in your room. Guys, for instance, would. You don't know where to say would. You're just so confused about this grammar rule. Where should I say would? He doesn't say you read alone in your room. He says you will treat alone in your room.
Even when you were a kid and you were chubby and you had no friends, you were just fine. And you would read alone in your room.
You were a kid and you had no friends. Not have friends, but had no friends. And you will treat alone in your room. Not you read alone in your room, you will treat alone in your room, right? So you were, had, would. As you keep going over those lines all together, you automatically start to use the exact same grammar rules subconsciously. So you start to subconsciously internalize all those grammar rules. And in the future, not today, but in the future, maybe 6 months later, maybe 8 months later, maybe a year later, when you speak, you will automatically use the right grammar rules. So basically, you will start to understand where to use these rules, where to say had, where to say were. And those rules will come out of your mouth automatically. So this is why I am always trying to tell you, emphasize that I never studied grammar. Let's talk about another very important advantage of practicing with the scripts of Friends. You know that when you start to practice with the scripts of Friends, you will start to think in English. How is that going to happen? Guys, hit the lights, please.
Hit the lights, please.
I turn off the lights. Hit the lights, please. I turn off the lights. This is the switch, and switch on and switch off. I turn off the lights. I turn on the lights.
How long was I in there?
I'm just cleaning up.
How long was I in there? I'm just cleaning up. I'm just cleaning up. I'm just cleaning up. So the minute I say, for instance, hit the lights please, or I'm just cleaning up, I can easily remember Rachel. Rachel is in the coffee shop and Rachel is cleaning up. So basically, the minute I do this, the minute I got my cleaning supplies and start to clean up, I can easily remember Rachel. One of you asked this question many months ago in Turkish, and I translated to English so that every single one of you can understand this. I have a question. In November, I will take an important exam, and in this exam, I need to speak about political science related questions in a foreign language. What do you recommend for this? I am pretty sure, after learning English with the script of friends and TV shows, after going from this beginner level to intermediate level, you will have to advance your English so that you can get a job somewhere, or maybe you can take an exam, you can pass this exam, whatever your purpose in life is. The way I master my English is, first of all, you need to find content that is related to your subject. You need to find the videos, YouTube videos or podcasts that cover your subject, and you get the script of those YouTube videos. But you only learn and improve your English by practicing with the script of those YouTube videos. You only practice, you only speak, you only improve your English by speaking. The other thing is, while you're practicing with the script of those YouTube videos, record yourself. Don't write down your thoughts on the paper, just film yourself. Because by the time you write down your thoughts on the paper, there's a very high chance that you can forget what you were thinking. And also the most important thing is the flow, the process of speaking English will get interrupted. So you want to get the most out of this process. And once you start to write down the thoughts that you have in your head, you will start to get bored because the process will constantly get interrupted. So instead of writing down your thoughts on the paper, just directly film yourself. After that, you can watch your videos and take notes. I'm gonna watch one of Taylor Bell's YouTube video while I'm having my coffee and eating this.
Currently working from home in Los Angeles, California. Owned and signed for an apartment in New York City, and I will be moving right around August 1st, at least a hybrid model starting on September 1st.
I'm starting to practice with the script of Taylor Bell, starting from the minute 4, and I will work on this part between minute 4 and minute 8.
Oh yes, I signed for a luxury high-rise apartment, and I got a lot of questions on how I did that.
I signed for a luxury high-rise apartment, and I got a lot of questions on how I did that. I signed for a luxury high-rise apartment, and I got a lot of questions on how I did that. I got a lot of questions on how I did that.
But typically you will need financial documents in the form of a tax return, 2 or more pay stubs, a letter of employment or an offer letter from your employer.
But typically you will need financial documents in the form of a tax return or 2, and pay stubs, a letter of employment, an offer letter, pay stubs, a letter of employment or an offer letter, pay stubs. If you know that, you know the meaning of pay stubs from my previous videos, because throughout my preparation process, I looked up every single word's meanings and I learned the meaning of pay stubs. This is your net income. That's your net income.
Pay stub is something that your employer is legally obligated to provide you every time you get paid. It mainly consists of 2 things: earnings and mandatory deductions.
Earnings are the amount of money you earn for the period you work.
Now, net pay is the amount of money you receive after all applicable deductions are made from your gross pay. It's the amount that actually ends up in your pocket.
The financial documents you will need are a tax return, pay stubs, bank statement, and letter of employment. Okay, these are the main requirements for renting an apartment in New York City. Okay, keep this in mind and maybe you can talk about it.
For your own sake, just have all that stuff ready to go so you can sign for a place at the drop of a hat if you need to.
You can sign for a place at the drop of a hat. For instance, guys, at the drop of a hat, immediately. For instance, you would like to rent a place and you can rent this place immediately at the drop of a hat. Instead of saying like immediately, instantly, you say at the drop of a hat. This is what I learned from Taylor.
I mentioned in my other video that I was able to negotiate my rent down by $200 a month plus have the amenities fee totally waived.
I mentioned in my other video that I was able to negotiate my rent down by $200 a month plus have the amenities fee totally waived. Plus have the amenities fee totally waived. You know that, for instance, dishwasher, air conditioning, or doorman, or gym, courts, tennis courts, elevators, all those things are considered amenities. If you can have the amenities fee waived, that means you're having all those things for free in the rent price. You're paying for the rent and all those amenities come free with the rent, okay? So basically you don't have to pay for those amenities. You don't have to pay for the air conditioning, dishwasher, elevator, doorman, tennis court.
Next was amenities of some kind. Now I know some of those big buildings have crazy amenities sometimes, like a pool or tennis courts and a gym.
You tell your landlord that you don't want to pay for the amenities, and if the landlord accepts your offer, that means you're having the amenities fee waived. If you can waive the fee, that means you don't pay for amenities. You don't pay for those stuff, air conditioning, laundry, dishwasher, and all that stuff. Okay guys? Okay guys, that's it for today. Now I'm gonna have my dinner while watching Better Call Saul. One thing that I would like to say is that please, in the comment section, share with me your English learning journey with the scripts, because I would like to know how is it going. Like, I would like to know your journey. Like, are you practicing with the script of TV shows, with the script of Friends? How is it going? Do you make progress? Just let me know in the comments how it's like to be practicing with the script of Friends. Maybe it's going great, and I will be happy to hear from you guys those positive comments. Maybe you're struggling with some aspects of learning English with scripts. Maybe there is something that you're doing wrong. So if you let me know in the comments about your process, your English learning journey with the scripts, we can identify the problems, we can detect the problems, and we can come up with a solution. Okay? Yeah, that's it for today guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.